Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, reacting to some Toronto Raptors news. Yes, we have a new Toronto Raptors news update, and once again, it's coming from a Nick Nurse post-game interview, and he's speaking on, because, Ryker, we saw it in the chats, we saw it on Twitter, on Reddit, all the posts everywhere. People are wondering, where is Malachi Flynn? Where is he happening? And now, people have seen the title of this video. What does Dalano Banton have to do with Malachi Flynn? But we're about to tell you, because when Nick Nurse was asked what's happening in Malachi Flynn's minutes, he dodged the question. He diverted the question and essentially said, you guys should be asking about Dalano Banton. Why isn't he getting more minutes? Because whenever he's out there on the court, he's looking like a monster. He's playing remarkable basketball so far, starting off the year. And we're going to dive into Dalano's performance and his future minutes in these upcoming games and all that, Ryker. But clearly from the tweet, and I have the quote up there on the screen, Nick Nurse is amped to put Dalano Banton on the court. I feel like give him more minutes unprovoked. He's saying he should get flamed for not playing Dalano. What are your thoughts on these comments? Are we going to see a Dalano Banton sort of break out, at least minute getting in the next few games?
There's a lot wrong with this, Ben, and I hate being right because I'm very infrequently right, and it just puts too much air in the old ego. But I said during the offseason or during the summer league, during preseason, don't be surprised if Banton steals minutes from Flynn. We're going big. That seems to be the trend. We're getting these long guys that can play defense and that are athletic. Banton fits the mold. Malachi Flynn doesn't. However, Nick Nurse is out of line here, Ben, because something's going on. He said, you guys should be all over me for not playing Banton more. Maybe we should, because the conjoined twins, that needs to stop. I'm talking Dragic and Svi Mykhailiuk out there at the same time. Worst defensive lineup, terrible offensive efficiency. Separate them. The conjoined twins, it's got to stop. But we shouldn't be asking about Banton when we're directly asking about Flynn, because it's frankly, it's insulting to the minutes that he's put into his career. When he averaged as a first-year player, he put in 7-8 points, 3 assists, minimal turnovers on 20 points per game. He put in the work on the offseason. He gained muscle in the offseason. He had a big pro-am game. He's ready to play. Something's going on behind the scenes, because you don't just go from having a guy who's poised to be the next bench point guard for you to getting 3 minutes in the first 4 NBA games, Ben.
Yeah, well, on top of all that, he had a pretty good preseason in terms of the minutes that he played, right? He showed his improved abilities out there in the preseason, getting buckets left, right, and center. And Ryker, what did you say those stats were just directly from Malachi Flynn? I don't have the graphic up, but what are the points, assists, rebounds?
8 points, 3 assists, 2.5 rebounds, a steal, and less than 1 turnover in 20 minutes per game.
Right, so those are Malachi Flynn stats. Now, obviously, we'll talk about Banton, because you and I are both very high on Dalano Banton. Don't get us wrong with the Malachi Flynn. Yeah,
we are.
Right? But Dalano Banton's stats, they don't really compare. I have his stats up here now. 2 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, 50% from the three-point line. Obviously, that 1-3 was from beyond half court. But, obviously, extremely small sample size and limited minutes there for Dalano. So it's not... But it is something that you have to look at. You have to bring up at least when you're considering Malachi Flynn. He's a bit more established than Dalano. I'm surprised that he didn't get that opportunity, especially when Dalano Banton came in expecting a year of chilling in the G League, chilling on the bench, but... Clearly, Dalano Banton has been good. He has emerged. And before we dive right into the Dalano praise, before we dive into the uber excitement in regards to Dalano Banton, I do want to bring up another comment Nurse went on to say about Malachi Flynn. He said, essentially, that his time is coming. He almost got in the last game. They decided to go in a different direction. But Malachi Flynn's time will come. The numbers, they just got to all sort of figure themselves out. In my opinion, I think that's just Nick Nurse saying, we got to play Dragic right now while we up his trade value so we can get rid of him, and then Malachi Flynn will get all the opportunity he wants once Dragic is out of there. So that's how I interpreted the Malachi Flynn situation from Nurse. But this vid was a bit about Malachi Flynn, but we really want to dive into our boy Dalano, Ryker, because
Ben, before we do, because I assume this is going to go up tonight, people are going to be wondering, giveaway. You've
That's true.
not done it. You've smashed through 21,000. Well, if you didn't tune into the post game because you were worried that the tone was going to be a little on the negative side, you would have been wrong, because it was a very fun podcast. But also, we went through how we're going to do that. Ben, take it away.
Yeah. So tomorrow night's post game, we're gonna have, firstly, everyone that subscribed, whether you subscribed 5 years ago, or we weren't around 5 years ago, whether you subscribed 2017, that's almost 5 years ago now. Oh my goodness gracious. Whether you were subscribed back then or you subscribe tonight, whether you hit the subscribe button right now, you have equal possibility of winning this jersey, the Scotty Barnes giveaway jersey. It's going to be a random generated thing. I'm selecting it from the YouTube API. I'm just selecting a random subscriber. So it's you got to make your subscriptions public. No one ever tells you that on a YouTube giveaway. So we're letting you know to make sure everyone has that equal opportunity to get it. But subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. We're really on the deep road to 25k subs, but we're not making it too far-fetched. We want to do it step by step, and want to give you guys a few giveaways, give back to the fans, so we appreciate that. But subscribe, that's happening tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow, whether the game is good or bad, in the post game, to get your jersey.
That's when it shall happen. Ben, Dalano Banton. What are your thoughts?
Dalano Banton. Now, we're into this video now. Ryker, I'm excited to see some more Dalano Banton, because you watch this guy play. You watch this guy come out in games, right? And it's always in the second half when the Toronto Raptors seem to be, as we've said, we start out hot, we start out pretty good. The mid part of the game just adds, you almost want to drag your eyes out as a Raptors fan, because there's turnovers, there's this, the energy's low. But then suddenly we throw in Dalano Banton and wow, the game turns around, the energy amps up, the defense amps up, we have more things going. Yes, Dalano Banton's not necessarily a guy that's going to get you a bunch of points or hit a bunch of threes or anything like that, unless it's beyond half court, but his impact on the game has been felt. It's been seriously felt, and it's a huge reason the Raptors have been able to make these late game comebacks and sort of turn it around. And we're looking for that answer throughout the mid part of the game, Ryker. And I'm definitely not saying start Dalano Banton, considering how much talent we do have in that starting lineup. But
I hope you're not saying start him. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, but I'm saying if he's coming in playing more of that mid game, we might not have these just horrific stretches on the court where we look lethargic and just messed up.
Yeah, because we're not throwing the towel when you're giving up, because that. Right, Banton came in as a project, came in as a second-round draft pick, whether it was Matt Thomas or, I'm not going to remember his name, Terrence Davis III, trade for one of those second-round picks that turned into ultimately Dalano Banton. I'm not sure, but...
Yeah, TD turned into Banton, and then Davis turned into Dave Johnson.
There you go. See? You're the numbers guy around here. The knowledge man. So it obviously turned into an asset, but we brought him in as a project, and he's surpassed expectations. He's even stolen minutes from a guy who should have been locked for a backup point guard role. And now he's coming in and really taking the responsibility as the hustle guy off the bench. And guess what? It's only been him and Scotty that's keeping the team in games. Yeah, OG's had some good nights, and Gary Trent Jr. has been scoring on and off. But really, we're starting strong, we're ending strong. And the air is just being seeped out of the basketball in the middle of these games. And it's not till you insert these guys back into the lineup that hustle starts to happen. Defense leads to offense and vice versa, because we said it, this team's not going to be able to score in the half court. They don't have that skill set on the team as established. What they do have is one of the best defensive teams if they worked at it, because they're long, they're athletic, and they can run and score in transition. That's what Dalano Banton provides. And if we can get more of that, that's exciting for us to watch, and it could convert to wins.
Yep. Well, that's a big thing, right? Not only does it fit the timeline and it helps, I know a lot of people want to play the kazoos in that previous game. And then obviously, as we've prefaced consistently, you can't react to any of our takes during the game. Live game, we're too vulnerable. It hits us too hard. We can't digest it. We're the Raptors digest, right? We've only learned to become the Raptors reactionary guys, right? But so we may have joined along in some kazoo talk during mid-game, but however, right? regardless of that, he's a guy that's shown he has an impact on the game. He has an impact on winning, Riker. And I think this is a perfect sort of time to try it out, right? Try it out. We have a very important stretch of games coming up because we're playing some teams that, in theory, if we want, well, not in theory, if we want to be a playoff team, right, especially if we want to be a top 4 seed, we're playing 3 teams coming up that we should be able to slap. The Orlando Magic a couple times and the Indiana Pacers, or reverse. It might be the Pacers twice and Orlando Magic. So those 3 teams, right? The Pacers haven't had that hot of a start. They do have great players on their team and a new coach coming in. But the Orlando Magic are overtly playing the kazoos themselves. So we should be able to get these wins and trying out these different lineups, seeing what will work, right, against these teams. It's going to be essential. Now, Dalano Banton's getting these minutes, right? And now I've been an advocate for Chris Boucher coming back and actually getting some run on this lineup. I know Raptors fans are not happy with him right now, but we'll dial back. We won't dive into Boucher in this video. Is it the Fiji water? Is that what's getting removed right now from the lineup? I know he's a conjoined twin with Dragic. He's been living on. He's trying to stay hydrated with that Fiji, so they got to stay together. But are we seeing one of those guys get removed? Because I just don't expect it's going to be Dragic. I feel like Nurse likes the veterans too much to let that happen. But is it Svi?
Yeah, if you put it that way, it'll be Svi because Dragic, you're going to play him to keep his trade value as high as possible, which I'm sure now is low. It's probably low. He hasn't played well. The Raptors have sucked. Who wants this guy? I don't know. So he got to keep him out there on the court, keep those old legs warm so that hopefully he'll do something good enough to catch somebody else's attention in the league. But I agree. Svi seems to be the guy. He's had a pretty promising preseason with his ability to score, and not just from 3, but to slash, take the ball off the dribble, challenge defenders around the rim. That's what impressed me. That's what gained my respect, which is why I'm constantly trying to defend this man on the podcast. He's just making it hard for me over 4 games. So I wouldn't mind to see Dalano get some spot minutes over him, especially at the betterment of our defensive rating, because Dragic and Svi equals bad defensive potential.
The conjoined twins in Svi and Dragic, because they cannot go on the court separately. It's a weird situation, weird lineups. I know people are ready to flame Nick Nurse, flame Fred. Josh is ready to flame Fred specifically on the pods, but you love to see it. If you guys want all the Raptors coverage, we're doing the live games, most of the games so far this season, right? The post games always are happening, so we got a lot of fun banter on that. But we want to hear what you guys have to say in regards to Dalano Banton. Are you excited to see him potentially unleashed in the coming games, especially against some lower tier competition? Let us know in the comment section below. You guys are the best for making this far. Join the channel membership. Lots of cool stuff happening with the channel membership. I got the group, the squad that we have in the GOAT tier membership. It's Nikki Phoenix, Marcel Martin, Paul Blunt, Clarence Hugh, Ukulele, Hung. I'm messing these. I gotta DM people directly and get the names correct. But Ukulele Productions, Kumar Demani, Tom Duke, Brandon McDonald, Mark, William Chan, Harrison Vinges Warren, GB, Matthew Coombs, Aaron Rich, Alejandro Lopez, Tony Khalil, and Kevin Lamb. If you want me to intermittently shout you out on these vids, as we promised the channel members, and at least get your name flicked on the screen every video, join the channel membership. We also got a lot of fun stuff, a lot of stuff happening. Riker, when's the next call-in we're going to do?
Let's do it soon. We got a bunch of things. We're going to jump onto other channels and kind of pester other fan bases. We're going to do a call-in. We're going to do some kind of Reddit stuff. So we got a lot of things cooking. If you want priority access to participating in those events and others like our fantasy, which we have to start posting the weekly leaderboards of that too, then make sure you get into the channel membership, subscribe, all the lot. We've already talked about the giveaway. Ben, we got a lot cooking in Raptors Digest land. It's all looking up, whether the Raptors are good or not.
Yeah, no, big stuff. And check out the Twitter, the Instagram, all that cool stuff. The TikTok's also rocking. You guys are the best. Riker, any last words on Dalano Banton?
That's it. Markham boy. Cheers.